and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Furus cheese spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Furus cheese spread today at your local grocery store.
Are you in the market for a new garage door or need to repair your old one? It's wintertime, and that means snow, wind, and freezing temperatures, all things that can cause sticky locks and damage to your garage door. If you're experiencing any issues with your commercial or residential garage door during the winter months, call Cameron Hall and his team at Doors Plus. Don't be trapped outside in the cold because of a poorly maintained garage door. Call Doors Plus today at 402-590-5800 or visit them online at doorsplusllc.com. Doors Plus, garage doors and more.
Ever feel judged at the gym?
You don't know how to use the leg curl machine? Are you serious? Is this your first day alive? No, it's okay. I love helping people during their first day on Earth.
At Planet Fitness, get energy without the judgment and join the judgment-free zone. Never intimidating, always free fitness training and equipment for every workout. Get energized today during the Big Fitness Energy Sale for 24 cents down, $10 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends today. See Home Club for details.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
This is Rick Heyman from Serter Hyman Jewelers, inviting you to our new outlet jewelry store at 12th and O in downtown Lincoln. Amazingly, we still have fabulous items we bought 1 year ago and beyond. Well, you know what an outlet store is. Unbeatable prices throughout the store. Closeouts up to 70% off. Don't delay. When it's gone, it's gone. You won't see everything on our website, so you gotta come in. The Outlet by Serter Hyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Opening November 25th in Lincoln at 12th and O.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for CPP Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at CPP. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at CPP. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G207684.
I could write a commercial telling you how great waffle weekends are at the chocolate season. Or I could just have Rico read you the menu.
Banana Nutella. Nutella topped Belgian waffle with homemade whipped cream, chocolate chips, and freshly sliced bananas. Baconator. Buttermilk waffle with bacon slices tucked inside, topped with salted whipped butter, caramelized pecans, and pure maple syrup.
Waffle weekend brunches at the Chocolate Season.
PB&J.
40th and Old Cheney or online at thechocolateseason.com.
This is Adam Carriker on the ticket.
Position right of the quarterback out of the shotgun, 1st and 20. Jailbreak screen in the air. It is tipped. It is intercepted by Carriker at the Missouri 21-yard line.
Live from the heart of Lincoln, America, 8-year NFL vet and All-American defensive lineman Adam Carriker.
Shotgun snap to Everett. He's got the left arm going, and now he's got a whole lot of Adam Carriker who rips him down inside the 25-yard line.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here's your host, Adam Carriker.
Welcome, everybody, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. It is a glorious Friday here on 93.7 The Ticket. As always, a lot of stuff to talk about. Nebraska having a lot of success getting the transfer portal targets to commit. All right, I talked about 5 that visited a week/weekend to go, and they've nailed 4 commitments from them already, from 4 of those 5 players already. We got NFL to talk about this weekend as well. Okay, Pete Carroll out at Seattle. Nick Saban retires. Bill Belichick done in New England. It's one of the most interesting off seasons, starts to an off season of college football that I've ever seen. Nebraska basketball obviously has the gigantic win over Purdue earlier this week. Number 1 Purdue didn't just, I would have taken a quadruple overtime. Maybe we won by a lucky backboard shot win. No, that's not what happened. They didn't just beat them. They beat down number 1 Purdue by 16 points. Zach Edey, the defending player of the year, 19'4", 7'4", 500 pounds, probably more like 300 like he's listed, but really frustrated him all night long, held him to 2 points at halftime. Okay, in the first half, so the Nebraska basketball team, exciting to watch them. Okay, so much news going on with Nebraska football and the transfer portal. NFL playoff games this weekend. It's almost like a movie script when you look at the NFL playoff games this weekend, and I'll get to those a little bit later in the show. You got Matthew Stafford against his old team. You got Jared Goff against his old team. You got Tyreek Hill against his old team. You got a lot of these players going back, playing road games on the field against these former teams that they played for. All right, a lot of stuff to talk about. Before we dive into it, have a whole lot of fun, and light this candle. I hope everyone has a wonderful case of the Fridays. Always remember that GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, great accents for any backyard landscaping project. They sell to homeowners and contractors, and they deliver anywhere, near or far. Stop by at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. Check out gelandscapesupply.com or call 402-467-1627. As always, you can send in your questions, your comments, your thoughts, your concerns. Otherwise, all right, via textual, 402-464-5685. That's 402-464-5685. Rico will put them up on the screen, and I can address any thoughts, questions, concerns, or otherwise that you send my way throughout this lunch hour here on a fine Friday. All right, Nebraska, they get a commitment, another transfer portal commitment from Stephon Thompson. All right, 6'1", 248 pounds. Now, he's played in 36 career games. He has 169 career tackles, 20 TFLs. And he actually earned a starting job as a true freshman in 2020, okay, as well. And he's a guy in Tony White's system, and for Tony White. And he's a guy who has multiple years of eligibility left, potentially a multi-year starter in the middle of this 3-3-5 black shirts Tony White defense. Now, this is a guy who had offers from other schools as well. You know, some of them would have been Arizona State, Kansas State, etc. So this is a guy who's a potential starter in the middle of this defense. He's familiar with how this defense works, how it operates, the expectations from the head man of this defense. Okay, a guy who can come in and potentially be an impact player on defense here at Nebraska, starter. Okay, another recent commitment. I love the fact that we have so many young, talented, athletic, speedy receivers, but the lack of guys who are proven at that position, okay, is not a small number. The lack of guys with a lot of talent at that position is not a small number. What's nice is that the Huskers, okay, in the past week or so, have brought in veteran receivers. Okay, Jamal Banks, former Wake Forest wide receiver, 6'4", 205. Okay, he's another vet wide receiver. Isaiah Nair from Texas joined a few days before Jamal did. Okay, this is a guy for 2 straight years, has had over 600 yards receiving, probably the most statistically accomplished player of any of the guys who've committed recently, okay, via the transfer portal. In his 4 years with the Demon Deacons, he had 107 catches, 1,404 yards, 13 TDs in 44 games. Last year, 59 catches, 653 yards, and 4 TDs. He has 1 year of eligibility left due to the COVID rules. Okay. These super seniors and super duper seniors and all that, we're going to benefit from it too. Okay. And he also was being courted by teams such as Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Purdue, and Michigan. So you look at the quarterback room, you got 2 true freshmen, you got Harburg. Okay. That competition is wide open. And Harburg won, 5 games for us last year, 5 or 6? So the combined amount of total starting experience in that quarterback room is what? About 5 or 6 games. So some veteran receivers, I think, is big. Big bodies. Okay. As we know, speedy guys are awesome because they can get you that big play. They can take a 20-yard catch and turn it into an 80-yard catch. They can take a 1-yard catch and turn it into a 50-yard catch, a touchdown catch. But when you got a young quarterback who is going to be learning an offense, trying to make decisions fast, regardless of who it is back there. We don't have anybody who has even a full season of starting quarterback experience. A big-bodied target, whether it's a tight end, Thomas Fidone, whether it's receivers, Jamal, Isaiah, otherwise. I mean, Malachi's got a big body as well. Obviously, a lot of speed. Young guy learning. Got to start some games last year. Malachi Coleman. Okay. Sometimes being able, if you're a young quarterback who may be having a hard time with the guys trying to rip his face off and wear it on Halloween because they're blitzing the house because, well, you're young and they're trying to take advantage of that. Knowing that you got a big-bodied guy with really good hands out there and you kind of just trust him to make those challenging catches, even if you may not be making the quickest, most proper reads just yet, especially at the start of the season, that can be immensely helpful. Okay, and it's interesting because Jamal Banks seems to be, when it comes to a guy like Dylan Raiola specifically, seems to be excited about catching some balls from him. He said, and I quote, "I haven't seen anybody warm up like him. Maybe Sam Hartman at Wake. How quickly he gets depth and his arm strength," end quote. They threw the ball around a little bit if you couldn't tell. Okay, him and Dylan. And so he seems excited to be catching the ball from a guy like Dylan, whether it's Daniel, whether it's Harburg, but he was talking about Raiola specifically right there. So I think those are some. It's funny when they had all 5 of these guys come, okay, and there was another linebacker, Alexander, who the Huskers have moved on from since, okay, and obviously they got a commitment from Dante Dodwell, the running back, a guy who's immediately going to challenge for playtime and or a starting spot. Insanely loaded running back room. Holy Moses Malone, when you think about the veterans in there, Gabe Irvin, Ramir Johnson, when you think about the young guys, Quentin Ives, who Matt Rule has brought up in press conferences. I know he hasn't played a ton yet. He's brought him up no less than 3 or 4 times, which is a lot for a guy who hasn't played much. And then you got, I don't know, the guy who was our best running back last year, Emmett Johnson, who's a young guy, a guy who you can see why he was highly thought of coming out of high school. I thought he did a good job. You can see once he gets in the weight room, a smidge thin. Young guy, freshman, a smidge thin. He gets in that weight room, he's only going to get better and better. And then you add a guy like Dante into that mix. That's 5 really good, talented running backs. Okay, Gabe has started here. Emmett has started here. Ramir has started here. A lot of people are talking about how Dante could start here. Matt Rule brings up Quentin Ives. You know, I mean, I don't like putting things into the atmosphere. I'm not a big, jinx guy, or I'm not a big superstitious type guy. The only superstition I've ever really had, it wasn't superstition. I really liked these socks in high school. I wore them every game in football. By the time I was a senior, they had holes all over the place. I don't know how I didn't get blisters. And then I just wore them in basketball my senior year of high school as well. Just I don't know. I wanted to. It made no real logical sense. My toes were hanging out. You could see they went up to they were the old school. They were kind of cool back in the day. The high socks that went just below the knee. You could see the holes like in the back of my calf. There was holes in the toes. So I'm not a big superstitious guy, but what I'm getting at is when you got that many backs in a running back room, okay, in this day and age of the transfer portal, the odds are somebody leaves. I hope not. But the odds are that might happen, but it's okay if that does, because there's a whole bunch of running backs in there that we're going to be fighting for play time. Guys with a lot of talent, guys with experience. So we'll see what happens there. But of the 5 visitors, transfer portal visitors that were in a little over a week ago or just short of a week ago, they got 4 of them. Okay. That's a pretty good percentage. Coaches are doing pretty good with the guys that they're targeting in the transfer portal. And I remember thinking, man, if we could get Jamal and Isaiah, that'd be pretty sweet. Well, we got them. With Dante Dowdwell, I was like, we don't really need him. I just spoke about the loaded running back room. But shoot, if the guy's interested, a guy with that much ability and size and strength and power and ability to break tackles and get yards, he's the equivalent of a Big Ten back with great explosiveness. Sure, why not? Oh, by the way, got him too. Okay, and then we got a surprise earlier this week, at least to me. By the way, this guy has a phenomenal name. I always thought Thunder Collins had a phenomenal name for a football player. Okay, I had a strength coach in Nebraska named Rock Gullickson. Phenomenal strength coach name. All right, this guy's name is Micah Mazuka, and it just sounds like bazooka to me. And it's just like, what a great sounding name for an offensive lineman, just exploding off the ball and blowing up defenders. All right, Nebraska's O-line just got bigger and better. Micah Mazuka, I just might dub him Bazooka. I don't know. Announced today that he'll be transferring to us. I'm actually reading my own tweet from a few days ago, just so you know. This is Adam Carriker's tweet. If you got nothing better to do with your life, you can follow me on Facebook, the Twitter. You can on Instagram. I haven't posted in about 14 years. Maybe I should start doing that. But anyways, Micah announced that he'll be transferring to us. He started 10-plus games each of the last 2 years for Florida and Baylor. In 2023 at Florida. Okay, by the way, 6'5", anywhere from 335 to 325, depend on where you look to see what he's listed. He started at right guard in 11 of 12 games, had 743 snaps. In 2022 at Baylor, played at 11 games, had 10 starts, and graded out as the second best guard in the Big 12 conference, according to Pro Football Focus, and the 42nd best guard in the nation. Now, when it comes to run blocking specifically, when a guy's 6'5", 330-esque-ish, this isn't surprising, okay? At run blocking specifically, he graded as the best in the conference, the entire Big 12 conference, and the 15th best in the nation. Now, if you watch this guy on film, pass pro may not be his strength, okay? Your strength can really only be, one thing typically, all right? But run blocking, and I'm not saying he's some big liability of pass protection. I'm saying his strength is run blocking. Matt Rule wants to run the ball. He wants to be big, physical. I combined physical and big into fig. He wants to be big. He wants to be physical. He wants to have maulers up front. This guy's got a bit of a nasty streak too. So this is a guy that can potentially come in and start for us day one. You talk about Isaiah. You talk about Jamal. You talk about Mazuka Bazooka. These are guys with veteran experience, okay? And these are guys, and at least, Isaiah made big plays at Wyoming. They all have starting experience. Jamal at Wake Forest, okay, Mazuka Bazooka, Florida, Baylor, started at 2 different Power 5 schools prior to Nebraska. These are guys who can immediately come in and make us better right off the bat, compete, earn a starting job potentially. I think that's kind of the idea when you bring in guys like these. So when you look at the transfer portal and the targets that Nebraska has had, he almost committed to Nebraska a year ago. So he was almost a Husker a year ago. The offensive line improved as the season went along last year. Okay. Still needs a lot of improvement. And this is a guy that can come in and help fill at least one potential hole on that offensive line, or at least be an upgrade on that offensive line as well. So for me, this offseason has been exciting so far, not just because there's a lot of stuff to talk about just in general. It's exciting so far because when you look at what Matt Rule and his staff are doing, like, I legit believe they are doing a very good job at talent acquisition. Okay. 19th recruiting class in the country. They had more signees than any other team in the entire country in their high school recruiting class because he believes in developing players. Okay. And then you look at what they're doing in the transfer portal. Have they brought in 15, 20 guys? Nope. They brought in almost 30 high school guys and they want to develop. But where do we need help at? We need experienced receivers. Bam, got 2 of them. We need some size and big body targets for our young quarterbacks. Bam, got a couple of them. We need to help improve the offensive line even more. Bam, let's bring in Mazuka Bazooka. And then, oh, by the way, we may need to replace some guys in the middle on the defense, some guys with experience in the 3-3-5 defense. Bam, just did that as well. Now, I'm not sitting here saying we're going to go like 15-0. That'd be asinine. What I am saying is it too early to start drinking the Kool-Aid? Red is my favorite. I'm just saying it's been a good offseason so far. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we got to pay some bills. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Attention all Wings fans. 89-cent wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for boneless or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now at the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 tall boys in Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Hello, everybody. It's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I hear that new Honda manufacturing continues to go up, and you have new Hondas in stock now.
That's correct, Charlie. We have more than 40 new Hondas in stock right now. It's great that a customer can come in and buy a new Honda and drive it home that day. New Honda inventory keeps getting better each month.
Okay, then. How about used cars, Andy?
We have more than 100 pre-owned vehicles to choose from right now, and a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in daily. We have just about every maker model you can imagine in any price range.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Why are New Year's resolutions always about getting to the gym more or dieting? We fail ourselves before the first month of the year is already over. Why not resolve to eat better, tastier foods in 2024? Look no further than Furus cheese spread. Stop eating your apples, vegetables, crackers, and chips plain. Give them some flavor. Furus cheese spread awakens your taste buds. Now that's how you start a new year. Find your container of Furus cheese spread today at your local grocery store.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and we'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Coppell. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Coppell. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at coppellcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G20764. 684.
I could write a commercial telling you how great waffle weekends are at the chocolate season. Or I could just have Rico read you the menu.
Banana Nutella. Nutella topped Belgian waffle with homemade whipped cream, chocolate chips, and freshly sliced bananas. Baconator. Buttermilk waffle with bacon slices tucked inside, topped with salted whipped butter, caramelized pecans, and pure maple syrup.
Waffle weekend brunches at the chocolate season.
PB&J.
40th and Old Cheney or online at thechocolateseason.com.
A lot of work goes into making Nebraska, Nebraska. Keeping it green, helping it thrive, making it fun. Everything that goes into caring for our outdoors, from waters to wildlife, plays a big role in making Nebraska home. Learn how we help conserve our state's natural resources at outdoornebraska.org.
Paid for by Nebraska Game and Parks. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you looking for a new spot to relax and unwind? The Post, located on the south side of the Telegraph District on the corner of 20th and N Street, is perfect for a group hangout or a relaxing evening. The Post has plenty of exciting events open to the public, like Whiskey Wednesday and poker tournaments on Sundays. Looking for a spot for a private event? Ask them about their indoor patio. The Post, located at 20th and N Street in Lincoln.
If you want all the latest technologies from those big banks, but you also want that hometown feel when you walk in the front doors, choose Midwest Bank. They have top-notch technology. They make banking so easy, and they also have the friendliest staff, who will take their time to get to know you and treat you like family. You get the best of both worlds when you choose Midwest Bank. I live on the go, and now I can bank on the go. With Midwest Bank, I have everything I need at my fingertips. I'm volleyball player Allie Batenhorst, and at Midwest Bank, you'll love banking here.
What a day. I could sure use an afternoon pick-me-up. Hold up. The new 93.7 The Ticket location has a milk, coffee, and tea inside? Oh, yeah. This is a game changer.
Need an afternoon pick-me-up? How about a coffee or smoothie on your way to work? Stop by the Ticket Mill location on 1040 O Street to get your go-to drink or try out our new game day drinks exclusive to the Ticket Mill location. We know it'll make your day a million times better.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. A fine Friday, folks. All right, real quick, as always, be sure to check out GE Landscape Supply.com. All right, check out their website. Check them out in person or give them a call at 402-467-1627. As always, you can always check out CarrikerChronicles.com. Bunch of new content going up all the time. We have contributions from Doc Talk, Rob Zadiska, Travis Justice, Connor Hayden of Corn Craze, John Johnston of Corn Nation, a plethora of other folks as well. Yours truly included, of course. It's where all your football, volleyball, basketball, Husker hopes and dreams will come true. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I forgot to mention one thing when I was talking about potential transfer portal folks or positions, so to speak. All right, I have talked about it before, so I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on it, but we're already on the topic of transfer portals and needs and things of that nature. And, you know, does Nebraska need to go? I haven't heard a lot talked about this. In fact, I'm about the only one I've heard bring it up more than just once or twice, and there's probably other people who've talked about it more. But a potential transfer portal quarterback for the Huskers. Right. As I mentioned before, Heinrich Haarberg won 5 games, 5 games to be specific, not 5 or 6, 5 games last year for the Huskers. Okay, you got the number 1 quarterback recruit in the country. And Dylan Raiola, people are obviously excited about him. You got Daniel Kalen. This is a kid who, I mean, what more could you ask from him? Not only an Elite 11 quarterback in his own right, we got 2 of those true freshmen that are Elite 11 quarterbacks in the room now. Okay, don't forget Haarberg was a top 20 dual threat quarterback coming out of high school. Kalen, as soon as there was an opening, said, "Thank you, Missouri. I'm going to go to a team that hasn't won a game, had a winning season in many, many years, and I'm going to leave it a team that's going to finish in the top 10 and win a New Year's Six bowl game because I love Nebraska, because that's what Nebraska is about, and that's what this kid's about." To be clear, I expect Nebraska to start doing better, but that's the situation, that's the decision, and that's the facts. They don't care about feelings that he was dealing with at the time. And he not only chose to come to Nebraska relatively quickly, if you remember, just a couple of days, he helped peer recruit a good portion of that recruiting class. So there's no reason not to be excited about the guys in that room right now. Harburg, Raiola, Kalen. And again, I love Heinrich Harburg. The kid's nothing but class. Plays with a passion, a veracity from a quarterback position with the way he wants to run the football and how he runs the football. Okay. You know what I have mentioned? You know, at the time when we had Chubba Purdy still on the roster, you know, maybe it'd be better if he switched positions so he could help contribute and help the team in other ways. So this is a guy that Rule has clearly stated in press conferences he wants to give a shot at quarterback, and there's a reason for it. Okay, and then you got 2 true freshmen. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. You can't screw up the quarterback position again. Yes, the future is bright at this position, but are you going to sacrifice year 2? Because that's what kind of year 1 felt like. Are you going to sacrifice the most, how do I say it? The most scrutinized position on the team? And for good reason. There's a reason for it. Okay, again, potentially not get it right again. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be right a couple years from now. And I'm not saying one of these guys couldn't step in right now and do the job. Again, Harburg had a winning record, won 5 games. Okay. And there are freshmen who step in now and they win ball games. But I don't know how you can just bank on it. How can you just count on that? How do you know that's the best option for year 1? Okay, well, year 2, following year 1. How do you know that? So for me, I kind of look at this as how I looked at the wide receiver position. A lot of young guys at that position. A lot of fast guys, a lot of athletic guys, a lot of guys with big, bright futures. We needed some vet guys with maybe a year of eligibility left who could help in a specific role. And that's exactly what Nebraska got in Isaiah and Jamal Banks. Isaiah Nair. Okay, Isaiah and Jamal are not brothers. That's how I view the quarterback position. If nothing else, I think you need a veteran guy. And the issue you face is going into year 3, because this is year 2, 1 year from now, if Dylan isn't starting this year, based on whatever happens this offseason, there's going to be a lot of eyes anticipating that he starts a year from now. So do you want to bring in a sophomore transfer? Probably not. Junior? Probably not. You know, Matt Rule has said, he has flat out said he likes to bring in guys with multiple years of eligibility left at the quarterback position. But does that change with the way your quarterback position group now looks? Maybe a guy who's a senior, maybe a guy with 1 year of eligibility left, maybe a guy who isn't worried about year 2, who's willing to come in and compete and be a veteran and be a leader, maybe start, maybe, you know, can you entice somebody to do that? Who's left in the transfer portal that would be intriguing or interesting? All right. And we kind of knew Casey Thompson. You know, there was a couple of whispers, you know, maybe a month ago or whatever it was, but we kind of knew he wasn't going to be that guy. He's going to Oklahoma. All right. So wish him the best of luck, nothing but love for him. So he's not the guy. You know, we don't even know. And I'm not going to spend much more time on this because we don't know. The guy that comes to my mind that could be a potential good fit, former Maryland quarterback, Tulia Tagovailoa. All right. Now, this is the guy, as you probably know, younger brother of NFL star Tulia Tagovailoa. All right. He was the Big Ten's career leader in passing yards last year, so not too shabby. Now, that was his 4th season playing for the Terrapins. Okay, although one was a pandemic-shortened 2020 season, he also played 5 games for Alabama in 2019 before transferring to Maryland. Tagovailoa has applied for a waiver from the NCAA for another year of eligibility. It's unclear if he's going to get it. Okay, he completed 66% of his passes, 3,377 yards, averaged 7.7 yards per completion, 25 touchdowns, 11 INTs. Okay, and a passer rating of 145. He's just a guy that, if he were available, I don't know how Matt Rule would make a run at him. You don't know what's going to happen there with the eligibility, all that other stuff. It's just a thought of the quarterback room is bright, the future. Okay, the talent is there. That's how I felt about the wide receiver room, but I was kind of like, what about now? What about this season? And that's kind of how I feel about the quarterback room, and I'm just curious to see what happens. Because you had to imagine before Purdy transferred, Rule was planning on Purdy being heavily in that mix for this year and potentially being the starter for this year. He would have been my odds-on favorite. Now that guy's gone. So to me, that's something that needs to be heavily thought about, if not addressed, just a smidge to a whole lot throughout this offseason. All right, ladies and gentlemen, former Alabama head coach, as I'm sure you're aware, Nick Saban has retired. Saban spent 17 years in Tuscaloosa, posting a 201-29 record. That's really impressive. All right, with 6 national titles, he also had one at LSU, so 7 total and 2 undefeated seasons. Okay, getting hired. All right, I'm sorry. Looking at the next potential hiring of Alabama's head coach and who it might be. Now, Steve Sarkisian was the immediate name that a lot of people brought up. He's pretty much put those rumors to bed at this point. Gonna stay, it looks like, in good old Texas. And so some of the other names that are brought up, Kalen DeBoer, Washington's head coach. All right, this is a guy, DeBoer has rapidly risen up the ranks to become one of the nation's top coaches. From 2005 to 2009, he went 67-3. Again, really impressive at his alma mater, Sioux Falls, a Division II school. Okay, his first D1 opportunity then came at Fresno State, where he was 12-6 in 2 seasons, 2020 and 2021, before being hired by Washington. Okay, now Washington has gone 25-3 over the last 2 seasons, as we know, made it to the national championship and had one of the most prolific offenses in the country. You know, everyone has a plan until they get hit in the mouth, Mike Tyson said, and apparently Michigan as well. But Washington, still one of the best offenses in the entire country this year. He's a guy to keep your eye on. You know, with Mike Vrabel, the former Titans head coach. And it's interesting, I was surprised to find out he was no longer the Titans head coach and how that whole process went down, because they love that man in Tennessee. He is very similar to Dan Campbell up in Detroit. Former NFL player, kind of comes from that perspective when he's coaching. And I think those two guys just seem to resonate with their players just a little bit more. Dan Campbell understands X's and O's. He understands, talent acquisition through the draft and free agency. But I think when you watch the Lions play, the way that they play, it's the way that he wants them to play, and they are bought in because they are bought into him. And that's kind of how I always envisioned Mike Vrabel at Tennessee. And I know they haven't had quite the wins they've wanted lately. But one question, potentially going back to Bama, is Vrabel, is he even open to moving back to college? Because if he is, Alabama should listen, in my opinion. The former NFL linebacker began his coaching career as an Ohio State assistant for 3 seasons. He jumped to the NFL in 2014 with the Texans and then became, as we know, the Titans head coach. Now, he did compile a winning record over 6 years in Tennessee with 54 wins and 45 losses, okay, and 3 playoff appearances before he was fired last week. Okay, now, when it comes to DeBoer, when it comes to Vrabel, he doesn't really have a connection to Alabama. He's an Ohio State alum. So he's familiar with big programs. And Vrabel obviously coached plenty of Alabama products in his time with the Titans, including Derrick Henry, Julio Jones, Rashaan Evans. Okay, but I don't know if he's interested in coming back to college, but he seems like he'd be a guy that they would be interested in if you're the Alabama Crimson Tide. You look at Dabo Swinney. And of course his name's going to come up. When they were playing Alabama for like 84 consecutive decades in the national championship game, it seemed like Clemson and Alabama every year, everybody knew. I knew because they kept showing us that, he was a part of Alabama's 92 national title team, and he has that strong connection to Alabama and during his time there. And even though the last few years haven't been perfect, Swinney is among the most proven candidates who could replace Saban. The 2-time national champion has posted a 170-43 record in 16 seasons at Clemson, including 2 title game wins, 2016, 2018, and 1 loss, 2015 against Alabama. Clemson went 9-4 in 2023. It's their worst 9-4 is their worst season since 2010. All right. Obviously, Swinney, as I mentioned, has deep ties to Alabama, not just including the 3 championship showdowns. He was a walk-on wide receiver for the Crimson Tide, played a reserve role in their 92 national championship team. Then he served as an assistant coach from 93 to 2000. Okay, now I should mention, despite his connection to the program, current students don't seem too interested in bringing Swinney home. I don't know if the students have much of a say, but I think modern day Alabamians, I don't know how you say that, don't really care, probably view him as more of a foe than a friend because of the time lapse between when he was there in that national championship in '92 and all the wars that Clemson and Bama have had over the years. I do think he's a name that could be interesting, make a lot of sense. Alabama, my guess is that they're going to look at him and be like, oh, Clemson's fallen off and they're not what they were, and that's not who we want to be. And so, maybe they're not too interested in him. The other name that I see brought up, and I'm not going to lie, I just find this one funny, is Deion Sanders. Yes, he made Colorado a lot better last year, let's be honest. That's not saying much. And they're probably going to be even better next year. But, my goodness, his D1 coaching record is 4-8 right now. I would think that he'd have to prove himself a little bit more at the Division I level before people start taking him seriously. All right, before we hit that commercial break, because I want to talk about some of the NFL playoff games when we come back and answer any questions the fine folks throw my way. Bill Belichick, 71, out at New England, as I'm sure you know, and it seemed to be mutually friendly as they left out the door. It was Kraft's decision. It was not necessarily Belichick's, but it seemed to end mutually friendly after 24 years. My goodness, what a heck of a run. And then you look at a guy like Pete Carroll. Okay, he made it clear it was not his decision to step down at Seattle. He's going to be more of an advisor, although he is open to coaching roles somewhere else. Okay, I believe he's 70. Yeah, he is 72 years old. Okay, had all that success at USC, had a lot of success at Seattle, but kind of like, New England hadn't made, with the past 4 years since Brady left, they'd only made the playoffs once. Okay, the past 3 to 4 to 5 years, Seattle hasn't been the Legion of Boom. They haven't been quite the same. And so that's the reason for the change there in Seattle. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk a little bit. Well, I want to get to any questions you have. So as always, call or text 402-464-5685. That's 402-464-5685. And let's talk a little bit of NFL playoffs, and I'll give you my predictions, and we'll have a little fun. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
At Southeast Community College, community is our middle name. Our continuing education classes offer personal interest, traffic safety and licensing, online learning, and adult education classes across Southeast Nebraska, or online in your own home. Learn to ride a motorcycle, how to start a small business, how to dance, or take a course to advance in your current career path. See the full schedule of continuing education classes online at southeast.edu/continuing. SCC, your path to possible.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority, inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new complete post-workout recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Carriker Chevrolet GMC. We'd like to say thank you for a record-setting 2023. So let's start off 2024 with the bang. They've got huge trade-in bonuses and finance bonusing happening right now on our new inventory at Koppel. Get up to $8,500 off select new models at Koppel. So if you're shopping for a new GM product, go to our website at koppelcars.com. You won't believe the discounts. Make that short money-saving drive down 144th Street. You'll be glad you did. Must have trade and finance with roof credit. Stock number G20768.
Gainor Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gainor Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gainor Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gainor Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainorTrucking.com.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Hello, everybody. It's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I hear that new Honda manufacturing continues to go up, and you have new Hondas in stock now.
That's correct, Charlie. We have more than 40 new Hondas in stock right now. It's great that a customer can come in and buy a new Honda and drive it home that day. New Honda inventory keeps getting better each month.
Okay, then. How about used cars, Andy?
We have more than 100 pre-owned vehicles to choose from right now, and a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in daily. We have just about every maker model you can imagine in any price range.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Make the 2024 deer season your best yet. Come to the Nebraska Deer and Game Expo Friday, January 19th through Sunday, January 21st. Check out the hunting seminars, browse the hunting and outdoor exhibits, sign up for the Dylan Blind giveaway, compete in the Big Buck and Monster Shed contest, and try the 3D shoot and more. Buy your tickets at the door. The Nebraska Deer and Game Expo, January 19th through 21st at the Sand Hills Global Event Center in Lincoln. 84th and Havelock, presented by Whitetail Properties Real Estate.
WWE Friday Night Smackdown returns to Lincoln. January 12th, 6:45 p.m. Pinnacle Bank Arena.
Let's throw down right now.
See Rey Mysterio, LA Knight, Bobby Lashley, The Street Profits, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, Carlito, and more. It's WWE's Friday Night Smackdown in Lincoln, January 12th. Tickets start at $25 and on sale now. Ticketmaster.
This is Rick Heyman from Serter Hyman Jewelers, inviting you to our new outlet jewelry store at 12th and O in downtown Lincoln. Amazingly, we still have fabulous items we bought 1 year ago and beyond. Well, you know what an outlet store is. Unbeatable prices throughout the store. Closeouts up to 70% off. Don't delay. When it's gone, it's gone. You won't see everything on our website, so you gotta come in. The Outlet by Serter Hyman, where luxury and affordability meet. Opening November 25th in Lincoln at 12th and O.
A team succeeds when they work together. Banking's no different. At UBT, we're in your corner for every financial move you want to make. Your money's backed by a roster of experts who put in the work to know you and your community. So whether you're opening a savings account, buying a home, or planning your future, you always know who to turn to. Working together toward your financial goals. That's a win in our playbook. Union Bank and Trust. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: snow and blowing snow likely today, especially in the morning. Otherwise, it'll be cold and windy, a high of just 8. Tonight, cold and wind continue, more blowing snow as well. See a low of 5 below. And tomorrow, more cold, wind, blowing snow, a high of just -1. Stay warm and safe out there. I'm meteorologist Kyle Clucker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to Adam Carriker on The Ticket on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Boom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Adam Carriker on The Ticket. A delightful case of the Fridays, which means the weekend is right around the corner. All right. So we've got some questions in the YouTube comments. We got some textual questions. real quick. As always, check out gelandscapesupply.com. See them in person and or call them at 402-467-1627. Also, I just dropped my interview with Danny Woodhead on the Carriker Chronicles. I'll be honest with you. This was a phenomenal interview. He said some, how do I say, incredibly honest things. I always ask what I want to ask. I say it in a respectful manner. And he answered incredibly honestly, okay, going back to coming out of high school in a very respectful manner, I might add, but very honestly. Okay, and then I'm going to be putting out my interview with my former coach, Coach Frank Solich, either Monday or Tuesday at noon. So check that out next week. Check out the Carriker Chronicles on YouTube and or the website. All right, ladies and gentlemen, check out that content. So we got a bunch of questions from the fans via textual, via YouTube. But I did say I wanted to give my NFL predictions. That was fun to say. Predictions for the NFL playoffs. All right, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill returns home to Kansas City. The Dolphins. That can't be right. I wrote that wrong. The Chiefs got to be a 4.5 favorite. Rico, shoot me a text. Let me know who the favorite is, because 11-6 Chiefs, 11-6 Dolphins. Both teams have looked good at times, and both teams have not looked very good at times. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go with the Chiefs because they're at home, because it's going to be like negative 8,000 degrees, and then Miami boys never had to come to Lincoln, but they got to go to Kansas City. I'm going with the Chiefs. All right, you got the Browns, you got the Texans. Browns are favored by -2. I'm going with the Browns. Good old Mr. Deshaun Watson, going to see his old team and his old buddies. I think he gets revenge. All right, Bills and Steelers. I'm surprised. I mean, the Steelers are 10-7. I'm surprised that they got in the playoffs. Just at times when I watched them this year, it was not pretty football. The side of their helmet looks like a sparkle thing to my Twins, so they call the Steelers the Sparkle Team. I am not predicting the Sparkle Team to win, so I'm taking the Bills. All right, we got the Cowboys. This is like predicting Texas for me. All right, we got the Cowboys who are 12-5 playing the Packers. I'm picking the Cowboys just because I want to be right more than I hate the Cowboys. Okay, Lions. All right, and McCarthy, the coach, the Packers coach, is going to face his old team. I mean, all over the place is all these former coaches and players facing their old teams. All right, you got the Rams 10-7 playing the Lions 12-5, should be 13-4. That old game versus the Cowboys. Wow, what a bad call. Ladies and gentlemen, he declared himself eligible. I don't know how else to say it. All right, I'm going with the Lions. All right, Matthew Stafford played against his old team, going home. I'm sure they'll show him love in appropriate Detroit fashion. All right, maybe Eminem can write him a rap song. All right, I'm going with the Lions. The Rams, honestly, they're not bad. They can be scary. They're about a year or two away, though, but you never know. The Eagles, what have they lost 4 of their last 5 games or something like that? This is the team that I think might have lost 5 of their last 6 games, actually. Started 10-1, lost 5 of 6. Now they're 11-6, playing the Bucs. Probably another team. They won their division. Shouldn't really probably even be in the playoffs, but I'm going to go with the Eagles getting the road win. I still think they have the best overall roster, although they're not playing very well right now in the NFL, so I'm going with the Eagles. All right, let's get to some of your fine questions. All right, probably got about 5-6 minutes here before we got to end it. Notorious B.I.B. Adam, can't the players that don't end up with scholarships, on the average of them, still get a preferred walk-on, or is that like a slap in the face to them? So basically, if they don't get a scholarship, is there a way they can still get offered to walk on and walk on to the program? I mean, not in every single case, but more often than not, if you're in the scholarship conversation and you don't get it, the odds are you can probably walk on. I myself, the exact words that a particular defensive coach looked at me and said is, "You're not good enough to play here," and they offered me to walk on. That's a story for another day that I'll get into. Okay, I'll be honest with you. I asked Danny Woodhead about his recruitment, and they did not offer him a scholarship, as we know. And he said they thought about offering him to walk on as a potential punt and kick returner, and he said had they done that, I would have told him to pound sand. All right, so check out. And honestly, he was very gracious in the entire interview. But everybody's attitude is different. Some people take it as, I'll do anything, just give me any sort of way in. Some people want to go where they feel wanted. So it's different for every player is what I'm saying. Okay. And Rico texted me, Kansas City is a 4-point favorite. Yeah, I didn't see Miami being a favorite on the road at Kansas City with the weather they're going to have this weekend. That would have been redonkulous. All right. Let's get to some of the questions via the tube of you. All right, here we go. Let's see. Do you think Daniel Kalen, this is Cody Fulmer, 24. Okay. Do you think Daniel Kalen actually has a legit shot at being the starting quarterback, or is this Raiola's team? So, I mean, I always say competition. I'm always about competition. I'm always about earning things. I hate participation trophies. I detest entitlement. I detest laziness. All right. There's a kid in my house who believes that he should have a phone just because he's 14. You know why he doesn't have it? Because 90 seconds later, he'd lose it. I believe in earning things and, in some cases, being responsible. He listens to this. It's okay. He'll get mad at me later. That's all right. I love him anyways. He tolerates me, probably. As far as Daniel Kalen, I'm all about earning it. Now, let's be real. You can't tell me that people don't right now in their minds have, and I even talked about earlier, year 2, people are going to be like, where is Dylan if he isn't already starting year 1? That's just how it is in people's minds. I also, was in D.C. when RG3 was there. Kirk Cousins was drafted 3rd or 4th round. Okay. Eventually, Cousins was still there and Robert wasn't. Much love to RG3. And then Cousins signed a big deal with the Vikings. Okay. Robert's doing pretty good on ESPN at this point. My point is, you never know what can happen. I think people have a thought in their head right now. Absolutely. Probably towards Dylan. I am standing here and I will advocate for 100% that position needs to be earned. And if it's Daniel, then it should be him. If it's Harburg for this year, it should be him. I don't care. It's got to be earned. All right. This is Project X Woodworking. Is Thompson this year's MJ? And I think you're talking about MJ Sherman. Now, this was a guy who transferred from Georgia after being part of a national championship winning team there. Now, MJ played in all 12 games with 5 starts in his first season as a Husker in 2023. He set career highs with 16 tackles, 1.5 tackles for loss, and 1.5 sacks. Now, he did make his debut versus Minnesota and had 3 tackles. He also had a solo tackle versus Colorado. This is a guy who is uber talented. Okay. Luke Reimer is done. Okay. Nick Henrich retired from football. Okay. So to me, that's why the commitment from former Syracuse linebacker Thompson, okay, is big. Is a potential guy who can fill in, and a guy with the talent to do so. The athleticism, the size. I mean, Sherman's 6'3", 250. The guys are there. They just got to go do it. Okay. And what happened? This is Cody Fulmer. What happened to MJ? A lot of hype there, but didn't see much. Let's see what happens this year. That's my response to that. All right. Project X Woodworking. Talking to Cody in this. He says, Cody agreed. This is what I am asking. Thompson, hype versus production. Well, let's see what happens when they get here. Okay. Cody Fulmer, 24, says, when these 2 wide receivers come in, do they have our quarterbacks throwing to them to see what they would look like? Well, absolutely. The first thing a receiver is going to do is go find the quarterback, and the first thing a quarterback is going to do with the new receiver is go throw the ball to him. Okay, that's and we've already got quotes from Jamal Banks talking about his throwing session with Dylan Raiola. Okay, apparently he was pretty impressed with that. Okay, let's see what else we got here. All right, Andy Harris says Harburg will be a tight end. Not this year. We only got 3 quarterbacks in that room, so. No, not this year, unless we bring in another transfer and then there's some changes. And also, if you listen to Matt Rule, when he talks about Harburg, he talks about give him a shot as a quarterback. All right. Steve Dean has an interesting idea. I think Harburg could be used as a 3rd down or fire set plays like Taysom Hill is used at New Orleans. Actually, I love that idea. If for some reason he doesn't earn the starting job, let's say it is Dylan, I love the idea of using Heinrich Harburg in that role. I think it would be phenomenal. I think it would lessen things that Dylan has to do. I think there are things that Harburg does running that he's better at than Dylan Raiola that would give the defense more problems, that would give our offense more things they can do without overloading a potentially young starting quarterback and utilizing Harburg's skill set, because he definitely brings some things to the table, okay, capitalizing on what he does. Well, what happened to the buzz with the potential of a quarterback coach? The guy from Houston. Seems like all went quiet. You know what's funny is I have this whole page of notes here on him, okay, on Holgerson. And I didn't get to it because only an hour show. Also, it's been quiet since I put out my Chronicles show on that earlier this week. It's kind of like I'm just waiting. I fully expect something to happen, but I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting. I'm just as patient as an impatient, overgrown guy can be that's almost 40. I'm just waiting. I do think something will happen. All right. Yes, Cody Fulmer, to answer your next question, does Adam look and answer any of these questions from this chat? The answer is yes. The People segment, the last 10 minutes of every show, every Monday and Friday, live right here on the Ticket, 12 to 1. Grab some lunch, join me. Hopefully something un poquito intelligente comes out at some point. And I do love answering the people's questions. Andy Harris says, yes, I do believe he does at some point. That is correct. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a great week. I hope you have a great weekend. Can't wait to talk to you on Monday. Until then, go Big Red, and always remember to throw the ball.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at the Ticket FM